I did not realize that the first two X-Men were not held in high regard. I always thought those were decent films for the turn of the
first two.
century.
I mean, the first X-Men is actually good. I think.
Yeah, and the second one is too. And then you get to see Bryan Singer jump ship because he wants to make Superman, and that's where all the trouble I think seems to start. But had he come back, let's say he never did Superman, and he did The Last Stand, I think we see what would have happened. I actually think the guy needs Christopher McQuarrie. I really do think that he needs, and I do think that Christopher McQuarrie really is the unsung hero of Bryan Singer's directorial career. If it wasn't for him, we probably would not be talking about anything right now. I think that's the key thing of The Usual Suspects is McQuarrie's script. Because you watch Way of the Gun or even Jack Reacher or the last Mission Impossible film, the guy obviously has some flair. I wasn't crazy about Valkyrie, and I might be alone in that. I don't really remember the movie all these years later. I just always thought it was Night of the General's Light, to be honest with you. But I think Bryan Singer, I think what we learned about Bryan Singer is he really just loves Richard Donner and doesn't love him very well. That's what you walk away with. Because if you really want someone who likes Richard Donner and gets him and everything, that would be Shane Black then. Just go watch The Nice Guys and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He really appreciates that action buddy movie thing. Richard Donner, he likes Richard Donner, I guess, because Richard Donner directed Superman the movie, and that movie obviously had a big, big influence on Bryan Singer. There's no doubt about that. And obviously Jaws too, but I can't see any Spielberg in him. Can you guys? In anything you've watched in Bryan Singer?
I am. My interest in Bryan Singer is absolutely zero.
Oh, I know. I know that.
I think that he's contributed nothing, even with Usual Suspects, which I'm in the minority and kind of disliking. I don't think that he's contributed anything to film. Zero. Okay, I spend zero time thinking about him.
Well, okay. Well, no, I mean, cause I have to give him
and I agree with you that Christopher McQuarrie is there's more sense when you watch Christopher McQuarrie's subsequent movies. You sense that he's a stronger voice behind the success of The Usual Suspects than Singer is.
Way of the Gun. I mean, just from the Way of the Gun alone, you see that. But I think what troubles me here is it takes great skill to make a boring X-Men film. I mean, really takes. I mean, I haven't seen anyone do this since Michael Bay made The Rock unlikable in Pain and Gain. I haven't seen anything of this stature. And it's a shame because he really ruined. You give him props for the previous movie, Days of Future Past, because he's really just building on what Matthew Vaughn has created with First Class, which I think is probably going to go down as the apex of the series. I really do believe that, especially after watching this film. But you have all these great actors: Michael Fassbender, James McAvoy, Jennifer Lawrence, Oscar Isaac. And you don't give them anything to do. You really do make them spectators to their own destiny. There's really not much going on here. There are points of interest that you're like, hey, guys, there's something you could do here. No, nothing. The movie's really you really now get the gist of what Bryan Singer doesn't really. Someone, as Devin Faraci said in his review on Birth Movie's Death last week. Not only does he not like the X-Men, he just really doesn't care about anything. He doesn't like anything. I mean, in one sense, it's a very nihilistic film. You wonder, why is this guy making movies? He really doesn't care. I mean, there's a lacklusterness to the movie that is astounding, even for this genre.
Well, I mean, maybe it's not that he doesn't like movies. Maybe he's just depressed that this is the only movie he can manage to get made.
Well,
I mean, I don't know him.
He likes this. He loves this franchise. I mean, he could do anything he wants.
Well, you just said he didn't care about it.
Yeah. but obviously he loves the thing, but he has no respect whatsoever. There's a whole thing that you could, with Michael Fassbender's character, that you could build upon with another character that he does not know is his son in the movie, that you could build upon. You could have made a really interesting movie. That's never explored.